Beloved Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Welcome everybody to our Thursday evening session. We shall now begin with a short prayer. Janice, could you do the honors, please?
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Okay, everybody, let's settle down. At the onset, we'd like to invite our Lord Meher Baba to please come and join. Excuse me. We'd like to invite Lord Meher Baba to come and join us for this session. Let each word be spoken as per his wish and desire. And let us, in our hope of hopes, keep hoping that we get closer to him in his love. Thank you. Today we have two important people sharing their anecdotes with us. Jimmy Khan and Farrah Kerawalla. They both do not need any introduction as such. Jimmy Khan has been a Baba lover since donkey's years, and he makes a good storyteller as well. So we'd like to begin our program with Jimmy Khan. Can you please take over, Jimmy? Jai Baba.
Yes, I'm here, but I can't switch on my video. So you'll have to, because I cannot switch on my video. So you'll have to excuse me. I tried 3-4 times.
Okay. Doesn't. Okay.
So when it happens, it happens.
Okay. Right.
Continuing from last Thursday, we talked about Jasawalas quite a bit. And we know that Jasawalas were originally from Nagpur. Then they stayed with Baba for donkey's years. And Baba resettled them maybe early 60s at Pune, at Bindra House. So the Jasawalas were staying at Bindra House, but Erach was with Baba. So that is how it went. But Baba had some extremely special connection with Gaima, Erach's mother. Now this is what happened. In 1963, Baba first came to Bindra House to see Gaimai. And this is what Baba said in 1963 to Gaimai at Bindra House. And I say, this is I quote, "Of late I've been remembering you often. I don't know why I have because and why I cannot resist coming and seeing you straight away." By straight away, what Baba meant was he was outside of Pune. So he comes to Pune, and the first place he stops was at Bindra House to see Gaimai. And then he further said, no, no. So Gaimai said that Baba, you could have gone somewhere else. Where was the hurry to come here? So Baba said again, no, no, I had to see you right away. And I have come. Now, this is what Baba said for Gaimai, that I had to see you right away. Therefore, I've come. And we know that Baba said that Gaimai is going to be, Gaimai is my spiritual mother in this advent. So this is the importance that Baba gave to Gaimai. Now, last Thursday, I talked about Baba having a meeting with 20 of his close ones, the Mandleys, giving them option whether they would like to come on this trip to New Life. Similar meeting also was with the Women Mandley, which I also discussed about asking everyone to give a promise that they will obey Baba. Baba took a promise from them, etc. And Baba had said that I will take 4 ladies with me, not more. Now, and I think Baba did mention that Mera and Mani will be 2 of them. And I think Baba also said that Goher will also come with us. I think the reason why Baba took Goher was a medical professional. She was a doctor. And therefore, maybe Baba thought it fit to take a lady doctor with him. Now, the big question mark was who would be the fourth lady to accompany Baba in New Life. Now, Meru was the youngest and the newest to join Women Monthly. So Meru was very depressed. Meru was sure, not almost sure, Meru was sure that Baba will not take me because naturally I'm the youngest and I've just joined the ashram. So there's no question of me joining Baba. And Meru had these 2 mental blocks and 2 fears. One is to leave Merazad. Merazad was going to be closed forever. The property was sold off to Nariman, Arnavadala Chanji, etc., etc. So nobody was to be living at Merazad. So she tells herself that I don't want to live anywhere outside of Merazad, point number 1. And point number 2, she didn't want to leave Baba. She didn't want to leave Baba and she didn't want to live where Baba was not there. So this, as she's thinking, she's watering the garden, Mera's garden as it is called at Merazad, which is outside of the cottage. And as she's watering the plants, she is agitating and talking to herself. And she says that I want to end my life. I want to bring an end to this life. I don't want to have a miserable life without Baba, without Merazad. Once Baba goes, I will commit suicide. The moment she thought this, she didn't realize that Baba and Mera were sitting on the porch. So she heard a clap. The moment she heard a clap, she looks back and Baba was seated at the porch and he beckons her, he calls her. So she drops the hose and she goes and says, yes, Baba. And Baba says, what were you thinking? What are you thinking? Kaini Baba, Kaini Baba, Kaini Baba, it's okay. Nothing Baba, nothing Baba. I was just watering the plants. Yeah, I can see that you're watering the plants. But what were you thinking? Kaini Baba, Baba, Kaini, Kaini. No. Tell me, what were you thinking? And so finally she says that, Baba, I will commit suicide. What? Baba looks at Mera, Mera looks at Baba. And Baba says, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Suddenly you want to commit suicide? You want to end your life? What's wrong with you? And Meru then breaks down and she tells Baba that, Baba, I don't want to leave Merazad and I don't want to live without you. I rather die than to live in somebody's house, wherever it is, and to live without you for the rest of my life. I can't take it and I'll end my life. So Baba is telling Mera through gesture, tell her. So Mera tells Meru, don't be stupid. You are the fourth one. Baba is taking you. You are the fourth one. Meru maybe almost fainted hearing this good news that she's the fourth one. And in retrospect, as I think, let's imagine that Baba did not want burden. You know, the other ladies like Naja and others were quite elderly. They were quite senior, and there was going to be hardship all along new life. Therefore, Baba chose a young woman, namely Meru. So this is how Meru was chosen. This is the background story. Yes. Now, as we know, as the new life started, Baba first went to Belgaum. From Merazad, he went to Belgaum. And from there, he proceeded north of India. At Banaras, Baba is sending maybe cable or whatever it was to Padri Kaka to make a caravan and bring it at Banaras. And Baba had given specifications, maybe through letter or whatever it was, as to what he meant by a caravan. He gave him full chart or maybe even a drawing stating that this is what I want you to bring it to Banaras. Now, at Merazat, behind the blue bus is the caravan. Now, let's try and imagine that we are at Merazat and we are looking at the caravan. Caravan, to begin with, was not going to be a kind of a vehicle or a car having an engine or a steering wheel or anything of that sort. It was going to be a wooden kind of a contraption which could be dragged by two very strong oxen. And there would be a rider seated outside, and he would control the bulls or the oxen. And this contraption also had a handbrake. Well, we don't seem to see the handbrake today, but there was a handbrake because in case they go over a slope, the handbrakes can be applied. And the structure as we see, if you open the rear door, the structure as we see, there are kind of compartments where the ladies could put their clothing, etc., bundles, parcels, etc. And at a lower level, in a U shape, there are three, let's call them bunks. There are three bunks where the ladies could sleep. So Mera, Mani, and Goher slept on those bunks. And Meru, who was the youngest, she slept on the floor of the caravan. So, and there were windows also, etc. So this is basically the caravan for you. And this caravan was used by the ladies at night for them to maybe change inside and then rest and sleep in the night in the caravan. So it was basically used for that for the ladies. Now this caravan was handled by Pendo, Baba's cousin and one of the Mandli. He would control the bulls. There was Lagam which he would handle. And in the early morning at 4 o'clock, the ladies are sleeping inside with the door shut, and Baba would knock on the door for the ladies to get up and come. And the ladies would come out, freshen themselves, change maybe, and they would make tea for Baba and themselves. Baba was sleeping outside in a tent. And by 4:30, the caravan would start moving. When they would come over there, take the caravan. When they would come there, take the caravan and bring the bulls, join the bulls, and he would become part of the whole trip, whole tour. And they would hit the road at 4:30 in the morning and get going. In between, they would stop if they need to stop. Now, this is what Mani told us in Mirazad Hall, that as they would walk, right in front was Don. He would be holding a white horse. The physician, the doctor Donkin. So Dr. Donkin would be walking right up at front. Behind Donkin were Baba and Neeraj. They would be walking. Behind Baba and Neeraj, the women only would be walking. And behind women only, namely the four of them, behind women only, there were two camels. Now, one of the camels had around his neck a bell. So when the ladies wanted Baba to stop, they would stop and ring the bell, which is around the neck of the camel. So Baba would hear the bell and he would stop. Donkin would stop. Everyone would stop, and Baba would come back and check with the ladies as to what it is. Maybe they wanted to stop. Maybe they wanted to sit down. Whatever, X, Y, Z. So that is how the ladies could stop Baba from walking. And the dress was, the men wore white kafnis, all the men wore white kafnis and a green turban. So that was the dress for all the men. And the ladies wore blue saris. So all the four ladies wore blue saris. So this is how it went. And finally, at around 6 or 6:30, tired, haggard, sweaty, full of dust, and what have you, Baba would look for a for a reasonable place to call it a day. Maybe in some fruit orchard or wherever it was, where there was shade. Now, the funny thing that would happen is, one sec. Now, try and imagine that this happened in 48, way back in 1948. Now, as they trudged along the road through the gaons and the fields and whatever, people would look at them. People would think, "What is this? This is some kind of a circus party going with," because the animals were there, birds were there, etc., etc. And these locals, these Gaunty people in 1948, in their lifetime, they had not seen a fairer skin. They had only seen dark skin, dark brown skin. They had never seen, the Iranis were kind of fairer people, and they had never seen this kind of people in their lifetimes. So they were wondering, what are these? Are they some actors, actresses? Is this what's going on? So when the trip would stop and when the caravan is there would be a crowd around these four ladies, men, women, and they would wonder as to who are these people, and they would try to talk to women monthly in Marathi or whichever language. They would ask so many questions. Are you actors? Are you actresses? Are you from some circus people? And now please imagine that after a whole day of walking, tired, haggard, these ladies want some privacy. They want to ease themselves. They want to change. They want to wash themselves. They want to maybe cook something. And here are these men also surrounding with the women. So Mani and the others would tell the men, there's a circle around them. So they would tell the men, "Aap jaiye, वहाँ मैन है, आदमी लोग है, वहां जाइए, यहाँ क्या करना है." So gradually, with a very persuasive voice, Mani would tell the men to leave and, "Please go, आप जाइए, यहाँ से जाइए." So the men would go towards the men's side. Now they are telling the women also, the local women, बहन आप यहाँ से जाइए, please यहाँ से जाइए. हमें please this that. So by, even the ladies would leave, and they are at peace with themselves, and so that is how their evenings would end. Then they would retire early after their supper or whatever. So this is something. Yeah. Once in between, Baba wanted to come to Pune for a month, for a recess or for change of environment, whatever. So there were 4 arrangement walas at that time. Mirwan himself, he was very young. He was still in his college, in his final year. Then Dr. Gadekar, then Adi Irani, Sarosh, etc. Merji, okay, Merji. So Baba sends a telegram to look for a suitable house where they could rest and they could stay for 1 month at Pune. So they scatter around Pune, they go on cycle looking around for a nice place for Baba to stay. So Merwan, he goes on Bun Garden Road and he looks at a nice looking cottage. But the gate was locked, so he jumps over the wall and he goes inside and he goes right up to the bungalow or the mansion, whatever you call it. And even the doors of that mansion were closed. So he's shouting, "Are koi hai? Koi hai? Are koi hai ke? Yahan pe koi hai ke? Hai ke?" So a man opens the window and comes out and he looks at Merwan, he shouts at him and he kind of curses him that how dare you get into a private residence? Who are you? You look a respectable man. And who are you? What are you doing here? Are you trying to rob us? Get out from here. How did you enter? So Merwan said that the gate is closed. So I jumped over the wall and came. How dare you jump over the wall? You are a trespasser. I'll call the police. Get out right now. So Merwan was a young man. So he beat a retreat and he jumped over the wall and he disappeared. Now, Gadekar knew a very respectable gentleman called Sardar Raste. He was an elderly man, quite an old man. Now, Sardar Raste came from a very wealthy and a very renowned, some kind of a semi-royal family. And Gadekar is telling him, Sardar Raste, that can you please help? Can you please help us with a house where my master, Mir Baba, can stay? Sardar Raste said, of course I know a place and I can take you and I'll show you. And Sardar says that I know a lady who is Maharani of Baroda, and when she was young, she has played in my lap. So of course I know her very well. And come, let's go and I'll show you around. So Merwan also goes, maybe Adi also, and whoever went. But long and short, it happened to be the same place from where Merwan was booted out and shooed out. So they go inside, including Sardar, and Sardar knocks at the door, and the same man who had cursed Merwan, he opens the door, he sees Sardar, and out of sheer respect, he bends forward and says, Ji Janab, Janab, whatever it is, because that's how it was. He was respected. And Sardar sees Merwan and Merwan sees Sardar, who was quite insulted, but both of them don't speak anything. It is kind of understood that it was a mistake. So Sardar takes this arrangement walas inside, shows the whole of Guru Prasad. It was Guru Prasad. Shows the whole of Guru Prasad on either side, etc. Takes them at the back where there was a big guest house, etc. But before that, what happened was, as they were looking for houses, they had seen a bungalow which was very good, very nice. Baba would have liked to stay there. But there was one issue, and the issue was there was a leather tannery very close to it. And for those who know, tannery gives a very bad stench. They wash the leather So it emits a lot of stench. And they were worried whether Baba will like it, whether Baba will approve of it. But time was running out, so they kind of take this bungalow, and they wrote this Baba, sent a telegram to Baba that Baba, you can come and this is the address where you can stay. Now, wherever Baba was, he had already left this place to come to Pune. And in the meanwhile, they find this Guru Prasad. So Gadekar says that let's send a telegram to Baba to come here. But maybe Merwan or someone says, but Baba has already left that place. So the the telegram will cross. So they had an idea. Now Baba's food was always sent from maybe from wherever it was sent. Maybe Gaimai was sending or wherever it was. So they had an idea that this telegram, what I forgot to tell you was, Sardar sends a telegram to Maharani that a respectable group wants to come and stay at your bungalow in Pune. Can you please agree to that? So Maharani sends back a telegram saying that yes, they are most welcome. They can stay in my bungalow. So this telegram came rather late. Baba had already left the place, and he had already come and stayed at this bungalow, which was close to the tannery. So, along with the food tray, they tucked in the telegram saying that come and stay at Guru Prasad at Ban Garden Road. So Baba takes this telegram when the food arrives, and at that time it was afternoon, and the ladies were resting. So Baba reads that there's a very lovely bungalow we have seen, and it has been arranged and agreed. So Baba didn't disturb the ladies, and he and someone else went to Guru Prasad, and he saw this bungalow, and he liked it very much. It was much bigger. There was no stench. It was in a nice surrounding. So Baba comes to that bungalow. He wakes up the ladies and says, "Pack your bags. Let's go. We are going to a better place." So all these four ladies and Baba, they come to Guru Prasad and they see Guru Prasad, and they fell in love with the place. It was such a beautiful place. There was a big outhouse where the man can also stay. So that is how in 1961, for the first time, Baba occupied Guru Prasad. But sorry, not 61, 51. And then much later, Baba, 1957, for the first time, he started staying there for the summers. So basically, this is a short story about how Guru Prasad came into being. Yeah, in 52, in 1952, Baba was to the west, and Erad said this was almost kind of after the new life. And Erad said, everybody knows that there's nothing new about it. Erad said, I'm not coming. I'm completely finished. Body, mind, everything, I'm completely finished. I'm over. I can't come and I'll be a liability to you. Baba said, I was banking on you to come. And Erad said, please forgive me. I just cannot come. I'm a broken man. I just can't come. So Mirji replaces Erad as Baba's handyman. Now, this also has its own kind of an origin in the sense that this was Baba's creation, in the sense that Baba sends him and Pendu on a trip of India to give talks. Now, this was a preparatory trip, according to me and according to the books, so that people around central India, Andhra, Hamirpur, Delhi, etc., where people would hear about Meher Baba and they would yearn to crave to meet Meher Baba. So this was kind of a plan of Meher Baba himself to send Erach on a talk tour. So after he returned from the US trip, after a while, Baba goes on this trip to these areas where people already knew about him and people wanted Baba to come there and give his darshan. So, in a sense, Baba wanted heiress not to come and to go on a trip and tell people who Meher Baba is and what he is and why is he here, etc., etc. So, well, I have a lot to talk here, but Farah is glaring at me, snaring at me. So, Farah, over to you.
7 o'clock I will so much you get 5 to 7 you get up.
Thank you, Jimmy. Before you sign off, I'd like to ask the audience if anybody has any questions. Okay. Silence is golden. So before Farah comes on, I'd like to make an announcement about forthcoming program on Sunday. This Sunday, we shall be having a quiz program. It will be conducted from the center, but it will be online all over the entire network. And the questions will be based on Baba's work in Mumbai, in Bombay. Basically, the idea is to enhance our knowledge about the things Baba did in and around Bombay. So there is no competition as such. It is just a general knowledge enhancer program. So kindly make sure you join in large numbers and make good use of this opportunity. Thank you. Over to Farah.
Jai Meher Baba. Once again, thank you to beloved Baba for this opportunity. And last week, as we celebrated New Year and Independence Day, now again, we come back. And just to summarize a little before I move ahead, my journey with Baba, as I said, began first time, I think I may have seen his image 15 years now, maybe, or not 15. It could be 13 years back, where one of my family member, to-be family members, started believing in Meher Baba, and so too, she was very inclined to Baba. She spent a lot of time at Meherabad, and his photo would always be there at her residence, and that was my only connection. And sometimes during the Baba birthdays on 25th of February, I would come for those plays, and that was the limited connection that I had. Down the line, later years, I was added in that short Baba SMS groups, where I kept finding myself quite connected to those small messages of beloved Baba. I started thinking, no, what Baba is saying to those messages is correct, is what life is trying to say. And based on that, I went ahead with the day when I bought the book of His Grace, where Iraj Jasawala has summarized a lot of things about what grace is. And the quote that I just used to tacitly read, that you make the effort and I will give you the victory, which now, and I think more ahead in life, I have to realize that. And that's where I feel that our journey is all about the efforts that we have to make. So it started with that particular incident with the book, and slowly, I don't know how I was keeping Baba with me through the laptop, through books, and different incidents happened. I won't get into that. And then came my Meherabad trip in 2022. And as I mentioned, it was special. It was just like Saturday going, Sunday back. But it truly s- laid those seeds in my heart. And then my time started coming more towards coming to the center out here. I wanted to again go to Mehrabad, and I did go in that particular year of 2022 in the Diwali vacation. Then one of my family member was traveling, and he just asked, I'm going. You want to kana avutsu? And I was really finding it little hard at that patch to, how to be without Baba. So I instantly said, yes, I am coming with you. It was like just 1.5 months. And I went, and then my 2023 came. Lot of trips I had to Mehrabad compared to now, but a joyful moment. Now I will start from there because my last session here was in April 23. That also Sam uncle mentioned to my friend, my best friend and me, that you always speak. First, I know I was just taking it very, no, I won't say lightly, but I said, okay, okay. But then I realized it's not normal, okay, okay. And it is not Sam uncle who is saying, we have to realize it is Meher Baba's wish at the end of the day that even when we are invited or even when we are told to do anything, it is Baba at the end of the day. And it cannot be taken randomly. I won't say lightly, but not something which is a casual affair. It is a very important affair.
I'd like to intervene. Farah, this kind of thought is so very profound and correct because a lot of people tend to take things very casually as far as Baba is concerned. And reminds me of one of Baba's sayings, we tend to take God very lightly and life very seriously, whereas we should take life very lightly and take God very seriously. Also, during my entire life so far with Baba, I have come to one conclusion that once in a while, you get a chance to be of some service and offer some service to Baba or towards Baba. And if you shy out or back out for any particular reason, you are the loser and nobody else. Because God's work will never stop. If not you, somebody else. So I'd request all of us listeners around the world to please grab every smallest of the opportunities which Baba wants us to share in his work. Thank you.
What I said today to take Baba seriously, today I think he tested, as I said, he throws on bouncers and bouncers. Last night somebody just messaged that, at one, I wanted to share something. It's related to Baba. When would you be free? And I said, maybe in my lunch break. But it so happened that there was a meeting held that time. And I completely forgot also. And towards the end, when I was coming to the center, I remembered, Ari, I had to call. And I asked Baba forgiveness. I said, Baba, sorry. I was genuinely in a lot of work, but next time I'll be more careful on this ground. So I again apologize on that. So I shouldn't be a hypocrite there in the thing that today it just happened with me. So from there came my 2023, and as that opportunity was given, I spoke on the platform about the different aspects. My friend shared through her different pictures and so on. Then our journey began. Now, at that point of time, also, I lost a very dear person, a very important family member of my life to God, and she was single, and her house was a matter of dispute. It was in a Parsi locality where the house was in the leave and license format. And the trust was a Zoroastrian fire temple trust, which was handling that. Now it so happened that when the person dies over, there are different, what do you say, ways the trust handles the case. And so forth. Also, we were thinking now, how do we go about and what should be done? And I won't get into the legalities and all of that house, but why am I bringing that issue, that topic is that phase. Baba really, I would come to the center, think a lot, and tell Baba, Baba, now what? Baba, how to go about? Baba, this is what we are doing. And things happened so much that we genuinely did everything in the correct format. We wrote to the trust. We first asked the trust if we can keep the home. Then that was not a possibility due to a high fund that they asked. Then we asked that, okay, we want to surrender, but we want to talk to the trustees and bring some kind of aspects. And we couldn't meet the trust. It was only a discussion between the manager and us. But major decisions need to be taken at the highest level as well. And one fine day, it so happened that the house was locked. Now, this is a system that is happening, unfortunately, in many places where they just lock the house. They are not wrong because there have been cases where many just go and occupy the house. So, all those things happen. But we didn't ever intend like that, as in my family. And at that point of time, we took some legal opinions, a lot of different people in different trusts opinion, and a lot of people said break the lock. They have illegally put the lock. You can't be out of the house. It's your property. Things inside are there. Whatever. Lot of instigation. But within deep, I knew even if we are correct, breaking that particular lock is not something that I'm very sure my beloved Baba would like that ever. And for that matter, even my aunt, I will give a little description of my aunt. She was an ardent Orthodox as well, Zoroastrian, who just today, when I sit and I reflect, I never understood that time. But she loved Aura Mazda to the core. Her love was so much that at 12 also she got up to pray. At 5 also she got up to pray. In our fire temple, we have a boy ceremony where they ring the bells. That happens early morning, afternoon, early evening, late sunset. All the 4, she would go to the fire temple because her house was next door or in that vicinity. She prayed. She just went on to that effect that she loved God so much that if any individual belonged to the priestly family, she was into the business of baking. She said that particular item, if asked, I will be giving that free of cost. Now, it may be very general that, okay, giving something free is fine. But towards her later years, she was not very financially that stable enough where she could afford to give things freely. And I told her that, why are you doing that if you want? And that too, not a practicing priest. It was a person in the priest family also. Fine, free. I said, take the cost price. Don't take the profit, but take the cost price. Then she narrated to me one story that her father, my grandfather, they were from Navsari, then they settled in Mumbai. When he died all of a sudden at the age of 39, 40, very young. And like they were 3 sisters. So my grandmother was left with 3 daughters. So when he died, there was one third day Uthamna prayer that we call, prayer held in Mumbai. And one, her sister also did it in Navsari. Now, when they did it in Navsari, she said that the entire hall was full of priests. Full. They had never seen something like this. And later, it was known to the family that my grandfather, in his own ways and measures, used to help out, or he was working on the ship. He would bring things for the priests. He would help them out. He would support whatever is needed was done. And they tried to, pay their leverage through this way. And she said, we come from such families. My father did this. This is the least as a child of God I can do it is to give to the priest whatever I'm in the way I can. free of cost. And why am I bringing this is we come from that kind of a family culture, and all of a sudden on a house we see a notice and a lock. It was difficult for us to accept things like that because we didn't have the intentions, nor, and on top we had given in writing we don't have any such intentions. However, to cut it short, later time passed. We were trying how to get that locked out. Somehow, to one trustee, we managed to get it in. We wrote that, we will surrender by this date, vagera, vagera. Then another trustee met us. And then he said, let's see, we'll try to work out a way. And it was the last week. I remember 10th of July, 2023, Silence Day. I kept the date of 9th July to surrender the house. So that silence should really be silent. And 1 week prior to that 9th July, it was a Sunday, I just wrote a detailed letter of everything, what happened, this. And I said, well, least we want is just a meeting with the trustees to discuss our issue, what we are looking forward to. And it so happened that on our face, nothing happened. We gave the house everything. But we got a reply back. I remember I was at the center, and when I narrated to my cousin also that, this is what the reply has come. It was a positive reply for what we were asking. And he said that, usually in legal things, it doesn't happen so easily and things just go on and on. But it is literally a battle won through love, and things went on. What I want to tell here is, in conclusion, it's difficult in the kind of life that we are to practice not just what Baba says, but when we say, let's say the truth, let's do things correctly. It is difficult, okay? But it is not impossible. I feel that when I kept telling this, Baba, this is what you will like it, or my family stood by that also, I, on that experiential front, got the result optimistically. Things went our way, which looks very impossible if I were to narrate it to any XYZ. But when you are truthful and you are honest, Baba helps. And supposing it would not have gone our way, I would also say it that way. Many times in my other instant of life, I thought I got something, and next month I realized, oh, it's not mine. I know Baba knows it more better, what is good for me, what is not good for me. It's only that we should not diminish in our hope. That was my learning through this particular instance. So let's keep Baba strongly. After that came my Ganpati trip to Mehrabad. I had a nice 4 days individually with my friend and my cousin to Mehrabad. It was a nice, relaxed time. We chose weekdays and weekend, so less crowd, everything. But all of a sudden, it was very special because it seemed at that time it didn't rain too much in Mehrabad. And it was that particular time when we were there, it was raining, and it rained so heavily that I remember there was a sweet program in MPR 430. Twice the lights also went off, and it just rained. It was very heavy rains, heavy showers. Lower Mehrabad people could not even come for Aarti to the Samadhi because the water was all locked all there. But my friend and I decided we will still go for the Aarti no matter what. Give it a thought. Even that MPR bus also which goes to the Samadhi was not there. So many at MPR said we are not coming. And they sat, and the environment was so positive. They sat in the dining hall. At 7, they performed the Aarti, and 7:15 to 8, they sung the bhajans, and it was a vibrant environment. On the other hand, my friend and I, we went through the road, which was half waterlogged. We said, no problem, we will go. Rain was all 360 degrees. It was that windy and rain. But that day, the Aarti was very special. There were very few people at the Samadhi. There was a big group in the morning. We saw a very big group, but they were, I believe, at Lower Mehrabad, so could not come. But when we went there, we were few of us. But what we prayed at that point of time, uncle out there cancelled the bhajans also because he said he had to go to the hostel duty and all. But that prayer was so soothing, and Aarti, that connection was a very different connection. And I thought maybe I'm coming as a pilgrim. I felt that. But there was one auntie who lives there. She was passing by near the Samadhi, and I told my friend, Chalo, let's return, let's walk back. And she heard the word walk. So she said, why don't you join this one in the car? Now, we didn't know the person, so we were a little reluctant to join in the car. Then she took one round of the Samadhi and she came and said, okay, y'all are joining me in my car. And that's how Baba took care. And she was right. She said it's not correct that you will walk through the path. There could be reptile snakes also because it's raining. We didn't realize that, but yes. And she very kindly dropped us. And that time she said today's Aarti was very special. This was just our thought in our mind. But even she who stays there mentioned this. And that was a very different and a vibrant feeling. After that, our center Diwali trip happened to Mehrabad. I had gone for 5 days. I was to be accompanied by one of my other friend who said, I really had a good time at Mehrabad and I want to come. But unfortunately, she could not make it for some reasons. And then I was there in the bus and I thought that somebody or the other will always be there. And true, I made good friendship on that trip and it was a very joyful trip. Now, one episode I will highlight there. That was a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday trip. So Sunday one Mehrazad and Tuesday one Mehrazad was there. So Sunday I happened to go to Mehrazad. On Tuesday I had the option. Shall I go to Mehrazad or shall I not go? And I was in the doubt, yes, go, no, go and all. And I eventually just sat in the bus and I went. I said again going okay. But Baba has his meanings. When I reached there, they were sitting in the Mandli hall and I keep forgetting her name, who takes care of money and she narrates the stories in at Mirazan. She was narrating in English. Devana, yes. She was narrating in English. And there was a group of Hindi people who said, Hindi mein bolo, Hindi mein bolo. So then I did say that, okay, let her speak. And I was translating whatever she was saying. And it finished the entire thing. What here I'm trying to say is sometimes we feel what is the need, but I learned that day, you should still dive in. You never know of what help and what service you can offer to Baba through such ways. Likewise, even in Ganpati, we had gone to the trust office. Janice or Joanna, one of them had welcomed us. And it was a very nice moment. There also little translations we were helping out. And we were in the Ahmednagar center where one girl said it's my birthday and that day also happened to be my cousin's birthday. So they both offered one garland to Baba. And it so happened that when we were talking, that garland fell down. And one lady started shouting, Avatar Mer Baba ki jai, loudly, loudly. And then she kept on telling one thing. I saw Mer Baba. He was in the bus. She was from Lucknow, if I'm not wrong. And I was thinking why she's shouting and saying. Even at the Samadhi, all of a sudden, randomly, she would say, Avatar Mer Baba ki jai. But then I realized that if she had saying she has seen Mer Baba, like she felt a hand and she turned and saw behind, it was Mer Baba. That means it was very special. So that was also some moments that I've witnessed when I was there at Mer Baba. And when you hear, like right now also, when I hear what Jimmy Uncle says, and at times when he narrates his instance or anyone narrates that they were with Baba, we feel that connection very strongly. Now I will share one instance of Silence Day of this particular year. It was May vacation. I work in the teaching field, so we get May free. But somehow we had some work for which I had to go to college in May vacation. And that time in our college above only our vice chancellor stays. So when our college is empty, what she does is she keeps our college as her workspace. So one day she was working there, my principal was there. And all of a sudden my principal calls me and says, Farrah, 10, 11, 12, 13 July ko find out some accommodation. So I understood there is something very big happening on 10th of July. And I was praying, bhai, I'm not involved in that. I'm not involved in that. I wanted to have proper Silence Day. But it so happened that the week of that Silence Day, before only, I got a message that you are in the internal organizing committee in the hospitality and catering team with some other people. Kindly make it from 10, 11, 12, 13. Then I was like, oh God, gone, silence over. But still, I kept it strong that at least give a shot and a try. So I just mentioned to my co-people that I would be maintaining silence. Is it possible? And as I said, with Baba, everything is possible. And they also supported. And on 10th, I just requested one intern to also be there in case some communication is needed. And that was there. And people were amazed that a crowd of 300, and between that 300, one person is quiet. I also don't know how. I was quiet, but I was quiet. And they also, few of them who were there, including even the vice chancellor, when she got to know, she said, it is really inspiring to see this, where you are able to work and you are able to keep silence. It was not easy, but it was possible with His grace. So it is just again coming to the book of His grace. We have to make that effort. If we are able to make that effort, I think it is nothing is impossible. I will end now with some things that I have in mind. There was one story I read and I heard also out here, which Mani quotes that one day Baba was at Mehrazad and he passed by to that effect from the Mandli hall to the house. And when he was passing, there were many people and there was a little commotion also. And later he is telling Mani or Mera, I don't remember, but he said, those new flowers which were planted are beautiful. So Mani describes, we never told Baba that we planted some new plants or flowers, whatever they were. But so many people were there, yet Baba saw those, remembered those, and appreciated those. So if Baba could pay attention to that little sapling, how can we think that Baba cannot pay attention to us? That story I carry quite along, even when things seem to be fully stuck, no road to be ahead, no door opening also. I remember that story, and true enough, we want everything instantly. That is one problem. But with time, he takes care of every single thing. That's where I will also quote what Sam Uncle always says, that Baba says, once you become mine, I dare not care not. So adversities, sufferings will come in our life. We have to accept them. But he has also come in our life. And that is our victory in itself. And to end, two more things I will quote. One is last week, I had heard this story, and I loved this story, but I really loved when on Sunday we had our movie and Sam Kerawalla narrated this part of Truth Will Prevail, where he said that once there was a man who had committed some, I guess, some robbery or something to that effect. And he came to Baba and Baba asked him, did you do it? He said, no, Baba, I have not done. After some time, he asked again, Baba asked, have you committed this? He said, no, Baba. And Iraj was standing there. Third time also he asked, and he again said, no, Baba. So Baba told him three words, truth will prevail. And after some time, he was given sentence some years of imprisonment. And Iraj was thinking, how is that possible? But Baba had told one of the monthly member to take care of his family, food, education. So one learning here is despite the what do we say despite having doing wrongdoings are there, yet he takes care. He doesn't say now I will not take care of you, as in you in the sense his family. And later, Iraj had his doubt that how is it possible that if Baba said truth will prevail, how was he imprisoned? And Baba so beautifully clarified his doubt, not hurting the sentiments of that person also, because it was a gathering of thousands of people. He called him aside. Erach was only there, and he again asked, "Did you do that?" And he accepted, "Yes, Baba, I had done." So with that, it's like ek teer se do nishan. Erach uncle's doubts were cleared, and that man was not, humiliated in front of the people. And that time I remembered in one of the plays it was enacted, what is it that God cannot forgive? So that time it was told to something to that effect that the courts of man are made to punish the guilty, but the court of God is made to forgive the guilty. Before before even he could apologize, Baba said, "I forgive you." And Baba has always been so kind. He has forgiven so much of our mistakes, our conscious or unconscious undoing. And therefore, it is very, very important that we carry a very heavy duty on us. And to end, this is my last that I would want to share. 25th of 25th of February 2023, in Times of India, we had one article published, something to the effect of spiritual freedom. I'll just read a little of that, where where it was said that people who want financial freedom, you can easily provide some money and the freedom can be, or you earn it and you get it. Somebody is in poverty, you give the food and you can get done with it. But spiritual freedom is such where there is no wanting for human to human, not God, but human to human, that okay, you take this and it is done. It is an effort that we take, and it is a dual effort we are taking, because in the spiritual freedom, bolo for ourselves or also with whom we are connected, there Baba says you also shoulder somewhere in his burden. I remember this once when my mother asked that, she's not so much inclined to Baba, but she asked me that, what is it that, why is it that, if Baba is so important to you, there are so many temples of X, Y, and Z. And why is it that Meher Baba ka so much is not spread and things like that? So it was a very late night conversation. I told Mummy, Baba has said, I have not come here for the large crowds. I have only come here for the few. She just overacted and said, okay, I don't want to hear anything more. Yeah, now you are there and your Baba, and she left. But I want to say here that it is true that he has come here for the few, and it is us few also who not only have the privilege and the the good opportunity of not just meeting him or contacting him, but he is so unconditional in love. Never ask if we read anything. The only thing he says, I want love. That's the only thing he has asked. And he's been so loving to all of us all the time. And he forgives, he loves. Least we can do, I feel, is whatever is to be done in his service, let us just offer ourselves there. And at the same time, if we say that we are those few, then let us also, I don't know whether I'm right or wrong to think that, but I think this way, that wherever we can we not shoulder to reduce Baba's, I won't say burden, we are not even that ant also, but somewhere where we can work and it could bring relief to him. I tell Baba, it may be a very big cost, but it's our love at the same time. And with that, I say Avatar Mehr Baba ki jai. Thank you for everything, Baba. Thank you.
Jai Baba, everybody. Farrah spoke very well. And she ended very beautifully with just the short sentence, "Thank you, Baba." This, it is so coincidental, you may call it, or so. Just this morning, I read a small message from Baba about gratitude, where, do you know about this message? No? Acha. Wherein Baba says gratitude is something where it's almost or more than a prayer, in the sense, firstly, you remember the Lord. Secondly, you are thanking Him unconditionally, not because He's done this and that's why I'm thanking you and this and that and the other. You just thank Him for the love of it. And when you do this out of love, it is received by Him in love also. So this afternoon I was reading watching a video by Erach Jasawala in his talks in the Mandli Hall. And there this topic about love for God came up. And Erach said it so beautifully that when one develops that real kind of love, his mouth shuts up because it is within the heart, and only God and God alone can give and grant you that kind of divine love which He expects. So, my dear friends, we have reached towards the end of this lovely session. Two things I'd like to stress upon. One is, it's an open invitation for one and all. If anybody ever wants to join in and share their stories or their experiences with Baba, all you have to do is just let us know and we'll arrange it for you. That's number one. Number two, ever since we've had this problem with the internet thing, we've been monitoring people to let only known people join the network. Now, if somebody just logs in as iPhone or iPad and stuff like that, it becomes very difficult for us to identify who that joker is. And it is through such things that these mischievous fellows try and creep in. So I'd request all of us to come out in the open and share your identity so that we can welcome you and join you into the program. Well, it's time to say the prayers and then end this session. Until we meet again next Thursday, all I can say is keep Baba with you. Keep Baba with you. Jai Mer Baba.
Beloved Avatar, Meher Baba ki jai. हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और न तुम्हारा कोई अंत है। तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है। तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है। तुम आविर्भाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो। तुम अपार हो और अगाध हो, कल्पना और धारणा से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो। तुम अखंडनीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों के सिवाय और किसी भी प्रकार से तुम्हें कोई नहीं देख सकता है। तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे। तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी। तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो। तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो। तुम सब लोकों पर हो और समस्त लोकों से परे भी हो। तुम तीनों भुवनों में हो और तीनों भुवनों से परे भी हो। तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो। तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनों और हृदयों के ज्ञाता हो। तुम सर्वशक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो। तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो। तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सर्वज्ञ हो, अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो। तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो। तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव हितकारी हो। तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपूर्ण एक परमात्मा हो। तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो। तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो। तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो। तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो। तुम परब्रह्म हो और परात्परी परब्रह्मा भी हो। तुम परब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, यजदान हो, अहुरमज़्द हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम इज्जत अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य है। हे असीम दया के निधि प्रभु राज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था। हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिसे बोलना हमें उचित न था। और हर एक कर्म के लिए जिसे करना हमें उचित न था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए तथा द्वेष प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए हम पश्चाताप करते हैं। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दम या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख गिरने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभुराज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे किए हुए पापों को क्षमा कीजिए और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारी असमर्थता सदा रहती आई है उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम तुझसे अधिक का अधिक प्रेम करें, और अधिक और अधिक, और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें, जब तक कि हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाए, और तू हम सब की ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
जय मेहर बाबा। बुझावे नार जहलतनी कर कुद रते फरमातु छे लागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातु अयामोर शद मेहर बाबा चरण पर तुझ न धरिए सर खुदाना जात तीवा के फथई बैठो मेहर बातू तुझे माँ लिख की कतनो तू आशिक बीने आरे बी तुझे दरी याए वैदत मारे फतनो ओई तू फातू अमोरे रब ने ऐसा लेक बख्शे ज्ञान ईजदनु के तुझ पर महात्मा ज्ञानी छेने मुख तारे इरफातु खुदाना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान सदके साकिया पी दे पैमा तू हमारी नाव भर धरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदा ऐ मेरे बाबा छे निगे बातू हमारा ना खुदा ऐ मेरे बाबा छे निगे बातू बुझावे नार जलतनी कर कुद रत्ने फरमातु छे लागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातु। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
हुआ लहर से ही है जिसकी सृष्टि का निर्माण, उसकी दैवी अनंतता का कैसे हो अनुमान। आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, नमो ब्रह्मा आओ मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनावो, मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। प्रेम दीप में ही ये जलाऊ, प्रेम दीप में ही ये जलाऊ, निबिड़ अंधेरा मिटता पाऊ, निबिड़ अंधेरा मिटता पाऊ। अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊ, अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं, तुम मुझको सरसाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। जीवन की हर सांस हमारी, जीवन की हर सांस हमारी, बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी, बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी। है करुणा कर लीलाधारी, है करुणा कर लीलाधारी, तुम करुणा बरसाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनावो मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। बने आरती जीवन मेरा, बने आरती जीवन मेरा, आदि अंत का लय हो घेरा, आदि अंत का लय हो घेरा। खुले नयन और दिखे सवेरा, खुले नयन और दिखे सवेरा, तुम मुझ में छा जाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, नमो ब्रह्मा आओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।